So for this lesson, I am focusing on the whole book approach. When reading books, the whole book approach is reading picture books with children as opposed to reading books to them. As a teacher, this method is important and effective because it allows children to be effective participators in reading and trying to make meaning of what they hear and what they see during a picture book reading. For this lesson, I will be using two picture books to show 6 aspects of how to use the whole book approach. These 6 aspects are trim, size, and orientation, jackets and covers, and papers, front matter, typography, and some examples are weight, color, size, slant, etc., and page design. The first story I will be using for this lesson is called Hair Love by Matthew A. Cherry and illustrated by Vashti Harrison and published by Coppola in 2019. And this story is about a dad who is in charge of giving his daughter an extra special hairstyle. The little girl, whose name is Zuri, knows her hair is beautiful, but it has a mind of its own. Her hair has kinks, coils, and curls every which way. Her mom always does her hair, but when dad steps in to style her hair for a special occasion, he still has a lot to learn. And this movie has been adapted into a short film and it actually won an Oscar for Best Animated Short Film. The second book I plan to use in this lesson is called Creepy Pair of Underwear. This story is about Jasper Rabbit, who is not a little bunny anymore. He is not afraid of dark, let alone a pair of silly glowing underwear. But when lights go out, this pair of glowing underwear become too creepy for Jasper. Jasper tries everything to make these pair of underwear go away, but these pair of underwear won't go away. The author of this story is Aaron Reynolds, illustrated by Peter Brown, published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers in 2017. And some of the awards this book has received are Bank Street Best Children's Book of the Year selection title, Monarch Award Master List, and South Carolina Picture Book Award. And there are many more awards this book has won. As previously mentioned, there are 6 aspects of the whole book approach, and I will be going over them explicitly now. For trim size and orientation, trim size means the height and the width of the pages of a particular book, or an orientation is whether pages are laid horizontally or vertically. Jackets and covers are the jackets of a picture book are the art designs that wrap from the front of the book across the spine that gets all the way to the back of the book. The end papers are pages posted on the inside of the boards of hardwood covers that often give clues about the artwork inside of the book. Front matter means the first page after the end paper. It usually is depicting some type of art that will relate to the story, but it can also include a title page or anything that the author wants to provide to the reader. Typography means the arrangement and design of the words of the page. Could be the colors of the word, sizes of them, and which way they slant, whether it's on the left or on the right side, and etc. And the last one, which is page design, it is how artists accommodate and employ the book gutter, use of frames, page layout, or positioning of page, whether it is on the left or on the right. So now that we've looked at the 6 different aspects of the whole book approach, we can start comparing and contrasting the two books that I picked for this lesson, which are Hair Love and The Creepy Pair of Underwear. So if we look at the trim size and orientation, we can spot some similarities. The first one, for the trim size, we can say that they are very similar in size. So they are small enough that kids can just sit on their parents' lap, as it is mentioned in the books, and open this book up, and it's going to be the perfect size for both of them. It's not going to be too big, but it's also not going to be super small. But for orientation, we can tell that there's a difference. With Hair Love, the book is square, and with The Creepy Pair of Underwear, the book is in a portrait mode. So what we can do with students is ask them why they think these books are this certain shape. Another thing we can do is also ask them what kind of feeling does the square book make you feel? And also ask them what kind of feeling does the portrait mode book make you feel, so that way they can start making some connections to the book. So for the next aspect, which is jackets and covers, if we use the same pictures, we can also ask the students what they think the cover of the book means. So some questions that can help the students out, and we can also ask them, is what's going on in this picture, or what do you see that makes you say that, and what more can you find? So this is allowing the kids and letting the kids get very descriptive and already trying to find an idea of connecting what they're looking at the cover of the book to what the book might be about. So for Hair Love, they can see a man with a little girl on top, so maybe they're going to start making that connection of this is the father and this is the daughter. And for Creepy Pair of Underwear, we see a very scared rabbit and a pair of underwear that just looks kind of creepy. So students are going to start making these connections. Moving on to the end papers of both the stories, I believe these two stories provided really good examples. With Hair Love, we can see that the end pages are a solid pink. And with Creepy Pair of Underwear, there's a lot of white underwear and one glowing green underwear. And we can ask the students or your kids about what they believe these end papers represent. So we can ask them questions like, if it is a solid color, we can ask them, why do you think the author chose to pick this color for the story? So the students are going to start making predictions about what the story is going to be about. In the story Creepy Pair of Underwear, since this end paper includes illustrations, we can ask questions like, what's going on in this picture? What do you see that makes you say that? Or what more can you find? So now for From Matter, this is the page that comes right after the end papers. So for this one, something that we can do is ask students to make meaning out of the pictures or the words. So something that these two have different is that in Hair Love, there's just the title of the book and a small picture. And for Creepy Pair of Underwear, it just has the title. So we can ask the students, what more can you see in these pictures that might connect it with the story, or what do you think is going to be happening according to what you are looking at the pictures. Next, we're going to be talking about typography, and with these two stories, there are some similarities and differences. In Hair Love, we can see that there is a word that is slanted to the right with the word perfect, and in the Creepy Pair of Underwear, we can see that the words are green, and that's also a similarity between the two stories, because in Hair Love, the word crack is also in color. So when doing these with children, we can ask a few questions. So one of them can be, how does the way the words look tell us how to read the words aloud? So for the word perfect, we can ask the students why they believe the word is slanted and how should we pronounce it. The second question could be, why do you think the words look like this on the page? So for example, in Creepy Pair of Underwear, we can ask the students why they believe the words are green. So for our last aspect, we have page design. And with both of these stories, we can see that different things were shown. So with Hair Love, something that I immediately saw is that the author decided to put a drawing right in the middle, so in the gutter. And with Creepy Pair of Underwear, some of the pictures are framed. So some of the questions that we can ask kids about this is ask them why they believe the author would do this. Why would the author put a picture in the middle of a gutter, and what meaning could that hold? And for the Creepy Pair of Underwear, we can also ask them why the author decided to frame these pictures and what kind of meaning does that show them. Overall, the whole book approach is something that everybody can do. This is meant for teachers as well as adults that are trying to teach their kids more about reading and reading comprehension. So I invite all parents and teachers to use this approach in their classrooms or at the comfort of their own home. And these are my references.